Alright, this is going to be a short video. We have this from the last time, where you click and it will send projectiles out. And we've created enemies that spawn. And we have collision detection, so that you can destroy the enemies. It would be nice now to add things like score. So, score is a variable that's not a fact about any particular object, it's about the whole game. So I'm going to add score as a variable up here like time. I'm going to call it num destroyed. So we'll keep track of how many enemies we've destroyed. So this is very easy actually, because all we need to do is find where in the code are we actually testing to see if we destroy an enemy. So that happens down here in this if statement. I'm checking, well, this is inside my check for collisions method. It might be in a different place in your program. But it's where we loop through all the enemies, and for every enemy we loop through all the cannonballs, and we test if a cannonball is hitting a particular enemy. So right here where we're removing the cannonball and the enemy, that's where I want to say num destroyed plus plus. I want to record the fact that we've destroyed one. Alright, well this isn't very exciting unless we can actually display that on the screen. So let's remember how you can display text on the screen inside a papplet. There's a couple things required. First, we have to create a pfont. Pfont is a special object that represents a font. So I've named my object font. You got to hover over pfont and import it. And then inside setup, I actually have to create it. So I'll say font equals create font. And then it takes a couple of inputs. The first is a string that names what the typeface should be. And then the second input is the size that you want the font to be created at. So this is going to create a 36-point Georgia font. After that, you've got to have a command which tells it that you want to use that as your font. In order to do that, use the text font command. So text font means I want to take that input font and use it as my font. And this is all just set up so that we know what font we want to use, and then when we actually want to draw things, we can use that. We can use the text command wherever we want to. So I think this is something that I want to happen all the time, because this is displaying a number. I want to display how many enemies I've destroyed. So I wouldn't want to display it only in the split second when I actually destroy the enemy. I want to display it all the time. So up here, you know what? I'm going to make a new method called display stats, and because I'm imagining I might want to put some other statistics in there as well later. So I'll create this method, and here's where I'll say text. So I want to have it actually display number of enemies destroyed, and then I want to have the value of the variable. And you have to tell it where you want it to actually display the text. So I'm going to have it display maybe at 50-50, which is roughly the upper left-hand corner of the screen. I might need to adjust this once I see what it all looks like, but at least that'll be a good starting spot. So let's see what it looks like when I run it. Well, that's a little bit large and ugly, so I might want to adjust that, but let's see if it actually changes the number when I hit things. Cool. It definitely seems to be working. So we'll come back later and make this look nicer, but for now, I think that's enough of a working feature to call it done.